Everybody, Matt here, and we are at Big Red Liquor's headquarters today, and I'm here with Lee Fisher. And Lee is head of sales, head of international, head of everything for Hayman's of London, which is one of the most classical, delicious, family-owned, straightforward, English-style London dry gins out there. So Lee, why don't you give us a little bit of history of the family, and then we can dive right into the gin.
Fantastic. Yeah, great. Great. First, thanks very much. Great to be here.
Yeah.
At Big Red Liquors. As you said, we're a family business, and what we do is classic English gin. I mean, it's written on the label there. It says true English gin. And what we mean by that is it's the styles of gin that were originally produced back in London, sort of in the the late 1800s. And we're a family business. We started distilling 5 generations ago. So that's in 1863. We still distill in London today. So that's very important to the family that we kind of stay true to our roots. And our London Dry is distilled in London. It's not a geographically protected style, so it's made all around the world, possibly here in Indianapolis. So it's true English gin. So we use the original recipes handed down through the generations, father to son, father to daughter, mother to daughter. And most importantly, from a true English gin, is we use 2-day distillation. So we macerate and we steep for a whole day on day 1, and then we distill on day 2. And what that delivers, and specifically in the London Dry, is just a real bright, crisp, clean, and most importantly, balanced. In an English gin, you're not looking for one flavour. You're not looking for one botanical to be kind of singing louder than the others.
So you want it crisp and clean. You want it to have to me, there's almost like a little sweetness on the front of the palate, and then you get some of the spicier botanicals on the mid palate, and then you get a little bit of that citrus hit on the finish as well. So maybe you can describe the flavor. To me, I definitely get a lot of citrus on the nose of this particular gin. Go ahead.
Yeah, so obviously, any English gin, and indeed any gin, should have a juniper backbone. There should always be that juniper forward. That's pretty much what gin is built around.
Right.
From an English style of gin, for a true English gin, they were citrus forward. So that comes from orange peel, lemon peel. Quite a lot of the citrus notes come from a coriander seed as well. So, and that's given the high notes. And then obviously it's a dry gin.
Which, for people who maybe don't know, coriander is the seed that comes from the cilantro plant. So if you are, if you love Mexican food, if you're a cilantro eater, that's that little seed, when it dries out, it's no longer called cilantro, it's called coriander.
Yeah, and it really delivers some citrus notes. And then the earthiness coming at the back, that dryness coming from Angelica and Cassia.
This is such an elegant style of gin. You got to think the number 1 gin in the American market is obviously Tanqueray, but which has, I think, even more of a juniper kick to it. But this has got such a balance of that citrus along with the juniper, and to me, it's got sort of a little bit of a hint of a vanilla sweetness as well on the palate that makes it really elegant.
Yeah, you use the word balance, and obviously Tanqueray comes out of the UK as well, and I think it's that balance. And for us, with the processes we use, that 2-day process, it's doing things slowly and gently, and letting sort of nature, letting the alcohol extract the oils and the essences out of the botanicals over a full day and a full night. That's what really gives it that crispness, that cleanness, and that balance. And it's that classic style of gin that came out of London many years ago, and it's exactly what we're still following today.
Yeah. So we don't have martinis in front of us, but you can, unfortunately, we're just drinking it neat, which is great. It tastes great neat. You could do it with, 1 big ice cube. You could do it with a little bit of tonic. It would make a fantastic gin and tonic. But I think, and I love Negronis, huge fan, and you could completely use this in a Negroni. I think it would be delicious. But I would say, if you're going to buy a bottle of this gin, and you should, and we're doing a special on it for this video, but just a classic martini. This thing would really shine.
The go-to for me, and I think this is very much an English thing, is the classic gin and tonic on a summer's day, crisp, clean, refreshing. It's an absolute dry martini.
Yeah.
If you were talking to James Hayman, it would be a Negroni every time.
Or just gin and bitters. I could see this being fantastic. That's another drink that people are not doing enough of. Just a little shake of bitters, like an orange bitter and this gin over ice for the summertime.
The original pink gin, Angostura and gin.
Gin and lemonade. Really, gin and anything tastes pretty damn good.
I'll drink to that.
Well, Lee, cheers. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers.
That's awesome.